Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Black Geyser with me, Bring It On. Go get this peace summit started.
Ah, Espin. Espin! You are most
Alright,
welcome.
we've seen this. And that. Alright, I'm ready to begin, Your Majesty.
Splendid. Let the proceedings commence. Welcome, everyone. I am King Valienric, Liege Lord of Isilmerald and all her cities, towns, settlements, and peoples. Welcome to the delegation from Deron-Guld, our guests from the Eastern Empires, and all our other friends and visitors. We are gathered today to negotiate an end to hostilities between Isilbright and the Crown, and Deron-Guld, represented by her Council of Nobles. Now, let us get underway. The war has been difficult and lengthy, an exhausting trial both of blood and treasure. I sincerely hope the nobles of the Iron City are prepared to talk peace.
Hear, hear. If they're not, let me have a word with them, Donald. Let no one here fear for their lives or safety. Give my word that the well-being of everyone at this summit is sacrosanct. Does this extension of clemency apply to pickpockets, I wonder? Good lords, noble ladies, the first item to be addressed is the rebuilding of Deron-Guld. The Rebel Council of Deron-Guld has agreed to cease hostilities against the Crown in exchange for certain assurances regarding the future of the city. Lord Blythe, please state your terms for the assembly.
Assembled noblemen, noble women, and delegates. I am Lord Blythe of Deron-Guld. Your Majesty, the Council thanks you sincerely, both for your hospitality and for your diligent effort to bring these parties together, that we may resolve our differences without further bloodshed.
Regarding the Council's terms, the damage to the city proper, and to her minds and people, can be repaired if His Majesty is willing to lend the aid of Isilbright's engineers, laborers, and healers. Beyond this, we request only one further boon: the suspension of taxes levied by the Crown for a period of 6 years. This is our most conservative estimate of the time needed to restore the Iron City and her citizens to their former status. Well, I suppose I should not be surprised. But Lord Blythe, before I address the Council's demands, I remind the Assembly that the insurrection against the Crown was entirely the responsibility of your rebellious nobility. The Crown's prosecution of the war is nothing but the exercise of the Kingdom's, and my own, natural right to defense. Now that your time and resources are no longer drained by the war, the great wealth of Deron-Guld should be more than ample to fund the reconstruction. Loan of Isilbright's tradespeople and healers you're welcome to. However, I propose that taxation continue at the same levels before the conflict, which I remind you again, was entirely your doing. Lord Espin, what is your opinion? I kind of agree with option 2, but there's also the concern that Deron-Guld will get used to not paying taxes, so when Isilbright comes for taxes in a few years' time, it's going to create more hostilities. Now, if they make sure that the mines are prioritized in the reconstruction, then this is probably the best option. So I'm going to go with option 2. Now, Deron-Guld must have the freedom to determine her own future. Let the Council rebuild as they see fit, but grant them a suspension of regular taxes until the mines are producing at full capacity again. Since the requested help from Isilbright, in the form of engineers, healers, etc., would speed this process, His Majesty should grant it. But Deron-Guld must pay their wages as stipulated by their respective trade guilds. I don't agree with this view of things, as it rewards insurrectionists with a holiday from their financial responsibilities to the kingdom. But I did agree to concessions, so I'll let the point stand. To see to it there are no more such points. The Council's opinion is that this solution is fair to both parties. Thank you for your contribution to this discussion, Lord Espen. The next order of business. Assemble noblemen, noblewomen, and friends of the crown. The second item to be addressed is the trade and taxation policy of the Kingdom of Isilmerald, as it applies to her sundry domains, resources, and citizens.
The Council of Deron-Guld has expressed their dissatisfaction with Isilmerald's current policy in the form of open rebellion against the crown and war. Now, Lord Blythe, what does the Council propose?
Your Majesty, trade in Isilmerald has for too long been severely restricted, and its profits heavily curtailed by the crown.
Only wealthy cities like ours, the smaller settlements like Dalkovar, Crimson Crossing, and Facet Grove, have suffered for years under burdensome taxation and restrictions on access to goods and customers in the capital. Yes, we all know how unhappy you are. What do you propose? The Council recommends that trade everywhere in the kingdom should be allowed to flourish without restriction. Second, we recommend that, setting aside the term of Deron-Guld's reconstruction, every town and settlement in the kingdom should enjoy the same low rate of taxation as the capital. Your desire for fairness in all monetary matters is laudable, Lord Blythe. But Isilbright, as the nation's economic and political capital, must flourish without check or restraint, for the capital's prosperity acts as the deep well from which every smaller part of the kingdom is watered, thus the lower taxes. Let me turn again to the Crown's Council, Lord Espen. I don't think the king is going to go with option 1. I partially agree with option 2. I mean, even in the real world, taxes vary depending where you live at. I'm afraid of siding with Deron-Guld too much here. I don't know what the repercussions are going to be, because King Valienric didn't take too kindly to my last advice. So I think I'll keep it the same. His Majesty King Valienric has decades of experience creating and applying the kingdom's economic policies. What better evidence of the king's great success in this arena, say this is too sycophantic, other than the curse of greed should take such firm root here. Therefore, Isilmerald's trade policy should remain exactly the same. Hear, hear. The Crown unreservedly approves. What Espen makes a solid point about the curse, but it still doesn't seem fair somehow. I agree, but let's small changes a little bit at a time. Take baby steps. We have one final order of business. Esteemed guests, the final item on the agenda, a new system of governance for the Kingdom of Isilmerald.
Everyone. After much deliberation, the Crown has decided to relinquish the absolute rulership conferred by royal blood, in favor of a new system that admits some decision-making powers and legislative control to a council of noblemen and women. The essentials of this new order will be codified with the cooperation of the council itself. So the most pressing issue is, who will get a seat at the table?
If it please your majesty, the Council of Deron-Guld desires nothing more than to resolve our disagreements with the crown and move forward. However, to ensure the persistence of the newfound peace, voices of dissent must be included among this royal body of advisors.
Therefore, we propose a council of 14, peopled by the 7 remaining members from Deron-Guld seated here today, and 7 nobles chosen by the king. 7 remaining members of the War Council of Deron-Guld. Pertinent detail, I think. The Crown too wishes to leave our disagreements behind. I agree that Deron-Guld must have a place on the new council. However, the group represents but a fraction of Isilmerald's nobility. Asking for half the seat seems like an overreach to me. Lord Espen, what say you? Yeah, because there's more cities than just Deron-Guld and Isilbright. It'd be far too weighed in Deron-Guld's favor if they held half the seats. Yeah, option 4 sounds pretty good. The representation on the new council should be proportionate to those who remain loyal to Isilbright and those who rebelled. It would not be just to grant extra representation to Deron-Guld simply because they dissented. In the spirit of peace and fair dealing, the Crown agrees. I suppose the Council chooses not to object to this arrangement. I believe the main points have now been addressed, Lord Espen. Oh, sorry, it's a different sentence. Lord Espen, is there anything you would like to add before we adjourn? Yeah, at the very least, they could have an honorary seat. Maybe just one representative. I think that's a good diplomatic option. Yes, Your Majesty. I'd like to request the Eastern Empires be given a seat on the council.
What? The Rillo on the governing council for Isilmerald? For whatever reason?
The council echoes His Majesty's sentiment. But this is highly irregular, well outside of protocol. Is there no end to their meddling? Well, Lord Espen, explain yourself. Today's decision on the Advisory Council suffers from one serious oversight. A group composed solely of noble citizens of Isilmerald, whether loyalists or rebels, presents much too narrow a viewpoint in what are sure to be very challenging years ahead. Since there is no question of the Eastern Empire's loyalty or good intentions, their natural choice to furnish a much needed outsider perspective. There is wisdom in your words. I'd be willing to consider this additional voice if the delegation from Deron-Guld agrees. The Lord's suggestion is most unexpected, but I do see the logic of it. The Council is amenable to an additional seat for the Eastern Empires. The Council is amenable. Whatever our chief representative has been imbibing this morning must be quite strong, undiluted grain alcohol, I'm guessing. I promise I find none of this amenable. Lady Solveig, I was elected to... You're sowing the seeds of our own destruction. How can you not... Enough. Lord Blythe represents the Council, and his word is final. Really, Solveig, don't make me gag you with a stocking. Your Majesty, the Deron-Guld Council is satisfied with this proposal.
King Valinoric, Deron-Guld Council, thank you for placing your trust in my people. Upon Elenuator, I promise my intentions are honorable. Our representative on the Council of Isilmerald will act in a purely advisory capacity. We do not seek political power, nor to interfere in the kingdom's governance.
Well said, Lady Alumu. Welcome to the capital. Indeed, you and your wisdom are most welcome. Very well. Now I may conclude.
Thank you, everyone, for participating in this important forum, and for your steadfast efforts to advance the cause of peace. I know that whatever our differences, we all seek the best possible future for Isilmerald and her citizens. I confess that the Crown still has doubts about some of the conclusions reached today, but negotiations will continue. And so we adjourn. Good day to you all.
Alright, what a day for all that reading. My sinuses are acting up, so if I sound a little funny, that's why. It's been a rough couple of days. But now we'll take some time and speak to all of our companions, see if there's any follow-up quests for any of them.
I await your instructions.
I'm listening.
I can level up Helgenhar real quick.
I'm listening. At once.
Alright, let's go to Market Street and speak to the companions in the tavern there, as well as my current party. We'll go to Greybark Square and speak to Fim. I think that's it, because Jade is no longer with us. And after this, I guess we just go straight to Castle Alastor and enter the Black Geyser, which sounds very final. I think we're about to approach the end game.
I await your instructions. I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Yes?
Yes?
Here we go. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
I want to thank you for your help solving the mystery of the third eye. I never realized until now how much of a burden the diadem was. Wondering all the time if I had been chosen for some cosmic destiny. Honestly, I never wanted it. It's such a relief to find out I'm just an ordinary girl from the north after all.
Well, I hardly call you ordinary. Whenever you need anything from me, I'm glad to help.
In a way, I feel like I've started life over again. I'm free to go after whatever I wish. And it happens what I want is you, my lord.
Sure. I want the exact same thing.
Perfect! Come on, hurry! It feels like I've been waiting on this moment for centuries.
Oh. Alright, fade to black.
I can't say I'm glad we waited so long. But that was exactly what I wanted.
I await your at once.
Alright, so that's it for that
I'm
quest. I'm
always
not sure
ready.
exactly what happened. Like, what wisdom she got. Did she get it? I don't know why focus won't pop up for me. Maybe the third eye got better? Was it this good before? I don't think we had to summon Van Wolf before. I'll have to go back and check, I think,
I'm
before
listening.
we did that
Off I
quest.
go.
Alright, let's go kick out a couple people from the party.
Well?
Yes? Well?
Yes?
There?
I'm listening.
Yes?
I will lead.
Yeah, because I have the feeling this is our last opportunity to speak to all of our companions. I have been told that the companion quests aren't complete,
At once.
and this game is supposed to get some free content updates at some point in the future, so maybe we'll see more companion quest lines next time I play through the game. Oh yeah, someone told me there was a bag of holding we could buy at Wardenhalf now. Let's go check that out, and then we'll go to Greybark Square and speak to Bim, who's probably going to say the same thing that he always says. And then it's off to Castle Alastor.
At once. At once.
I'm assuming this guy back here has
Hello?
it. Good old Pexius. Oh, that's right. We had read this previously about the Eternal Ones. I forgot all about this book. Basically gives us the solution to the antidote when we went to that time cave. Alright, bottom of this bag of Bulguris. This magical sack is an example of the highly prized works of Bulguris, a Rillo enchanter. Bulguris was famous for his research on arcane storage, a field upon which he himself depended heavily. Over many decades, the enchanter gathered an astonishing hoard of wealth, mostly consisting of magical jewelry and artifacts. The mere dwelling was large enough to house his collection, so he was compelled to create the ultimate solution. Plunging your hand into this bag is like reaching into the void between Deron-Guld and the elemental planes. Its spaciousness is unending, yet one can always find what one seeks in a matter of moments. It is also protected by an ownership enchantment. The user can only retrieve items that they know are to be found within. The bag's insides are completely detached from the world outside. No damage, not even magic or curses that might befell it can affect what is inside. Even time seems to stop for the items contained. For these reasons, and because only a few of them were ever made, these bags cost a small fortune. Well, lucky for me, I have more than a small fortune. Cool, I just put stuff in there if I want to.
Off I go.
Won't worry about that quite yet, but it's probably where I'll end up putting all my potions and powders. Just because they eat up so much inventory space.
At once.
Alright, let's go check in with Fim. I'm tempted not to. I have no interest in doing that guy's quests. He's so annoying. And his stats aren't that good either. I think he has way too many points into charisma. I guess it'd be fine if my main character didn't have so many points into charisma. So what do I have? 17, so it's almost maxed out. Oops, right here. I think Fim has 14 default. Which isn't a huge deal because you can easily max out your stats with equipment.
Yes, Sahib. Yes, Sahib.
Yeah, 14, 10 intelligence. He's a swindler. I feel like dexterity would be a better attribute than intelligence. Plus that portrait, ugh. Alright. I'm most disappointed that you came out of the party this way.
I await your instructions at once. I'm listening.
You always just take him out to the wild somewhere and... well, who knows what happens to him.
At once.
Alright, where is Castle Alastor? Oh, there it is.
I await your at once.
Alright, and it's a little shorter than usual. I'm going to call the episode here, and the next one we'll head to Castle Alastor, and I guess begin the end? Because the Black Geyser is supposed to be in Castle Alastor. We enter it, which takes us to Hrothgor's realm, where we put a stop to the Pact Prophecy, I suppose. But I feel like we're the... I don't think the game's really touched on this, but I believe that we are... oh, where's it at? I believe that we are the reason why the Pact Prophecy, or the Pact ends. And so we're the reason why something worse comes in. But we'll see. Either way, I'm going to call it here for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.